What is up, guys? Today was another winning day, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly how we got there. So we see that price is trailing upwards on S&P and Nasdaq. In fact, not even trading, we soared as the day opened. We're just going higher. Price is purely bullish for both S&P and Nasdaq. Looking at US30 and the Russell, we could see that price was kind of hesitant to even sweep a previous day high right here. And so we had an S&P at the highs, and at the time we were bearish, and so we're thinking, okay, price is going to sweep the previous day high and then ignore the Tuesday's high, and then we have a SMT still maintained, and we'd come down and sell towards the 4 hour. Exactly the same with S&P and Nasdaq. With that sweep, Nasdaq and S&P would come down and sweep the 4 hour, but instead we got price action in the opposite direction. So price came down, as the news hit, we came down, swept London lows. At that time, Nasdaq swept relatively close to the 4 hour. It was US30 that came down and swept the 4 hour, so that was a little bit confusing to me. And so along the way, my bias was switched back to bullish. Well, not back to, I was bearish at first, but to bullish. Price went and swept all of these previous day highs, and so that SMT was invalid. So it was back to being bullish. So we're waiting for the retracement, and so price came down, market open, and price came and dipped into that 4 hour fair value gap, exactly how we want if we want to look for a reaction and trade towards external liquidity, because we're sweeping internal liquidity. So we jumped the gun a little bit and we took an early trade. It looked more like, okay, it wasn't like that, but we had a loss there. You can definitely tell. I forgot to draw it in, or I kind of deleted it or something. But if I have a look real quick at what price looked like at the time, we took a buy. I'm getting myself confused. We took a buy, thinking that price was going to inverse this fair value gap, and after tapping into the 4 hour, we jumped the gun a little bit and we entered early. Price didn't even close over. We got this immediate stop out right there, so you can see we lost. But then we waited for price to form proper structure, right? Because the last time we did this, we lost again, just like this, and we had to make up for that loss. And so that's exactly what happened. Price came and swept beautifully. As you can see, price left behind all these fair value gaps. We didn't get our IFEG entry like we normally do, but this was enough confirmation for me to enter. And so here's our change in state of delivery. I wanted to enter more or less there, but seeing as price was already soaring, we took the entry because it matched up very nicely with what price was doing on the other markets. Price was forming SMTs with S&P at the lows. As you can see, we didn't tap into that 4 hour right here, so we definitely have an SMT at the lows, and with that SMT we had that momentum. So there's all the confluence we needed for this buy. And so our target was this high for partials. We took a partial right there, you can see perfectly fine, and then from there we kind of just trailed our stop loss. Looking at the 5 minute, we put our stop loss below the swing lows. As price was forming these order blocks, we put our stop loss below the lows. And then looking at the 15 minute, looking for where price would hold, we put our stop loss I think we put our stop loss round about here, and then we just kept moving higher and higher, and we eventually price stopped us out at in profit with our stop loss in profit right there. So the result overall, I'm super happy about, because we took off our loss that we had from our earlier trade. Before this one, we partialed and took just enough to cover the losses, and from there it was just pure profit. And I was hoping we'd get enough to cover our loss from yesterday, which I believe we did. Yes, we did. We covered our loss from yesterday, and so we're in pure profit for this week. 1 day left for trading. We can go without it. We can try and see if we can make more profit, but overall we're happy with the results for this week. Honestly, I think we did really well. If you have a look here, see, this is our $19 so this is our $19.63 loss that we took from the first trade, and then I think it was about $21 that we took off from the partial, which covered this loss. And then from there we let price stop us out in profit, and that's what we ended up with in total. So that leaves us with $31.94. Brilliant day. I'm super happy. And yeah, that is all that we have for today. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. And yeah, I hope we can do it again, or just be happy with what we have in our pocket already. Best of luck in trades. See y'all.